we were given our independence, and from there we kick-started a country, a nation, that has faced a whole lot. Well, today being the first day of October, we shall be having that conversation with you. Likewise, we'll also be talking about some important issues as they actually govern our political space today in Nigeria. Well, have we been able to live up to expectation after independence, or we are far better off than where we are now? These are some few questions we ask ourselves, and they're quite rhetorical because we need to ask ourselves and, of course, build on them. Today we'll be having conversations surrounding, Nigeria's security, and of course we'll also be talking about Plateau State at large. And joining the conversation this very morning is the former Speaker of the House of Assembly, who is still a member of the House, and of course member representing Pangshin North, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, Pangshin North, State House of Assembly there. Meanwhile, it's still the minority leader of the Plateau State House of Assembly. I have with me this morning, should I begin with Chief or Right Honorable Chief Dewan Gabriel
Anyone?
Kundagbeda? Good morning.
Good morning, my dear brother. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Plateau State. It's a pleasure meeting you on this fateful day of
same here.
Democracy Day.
You were here earlier this year, and you made lots of points. When it comes to national matters. We dealt majorly on state creation back then. But today being independence, what's your thought about Nigeria? Do you think we've progressed or we are retrogressing?
Well, first, I want to use this opportunity to appreciate God Almighty for keeping myself, you, and all our listeners alive to celebrate this Nigerian at 65. There are many Nigerians out there who were wishing and willing, who have dreams of celebrating this day. They are no more. So I want to dedicate this day in their memory first, especially those who gave up as a result of the failed leadership, hardship, NSAS protest, attacks by bandits, and so many who have lost their life as a result of the country that they find themselves. Today, Nigeria is 65. I can say we are not progressing. I'm not wrong, because though for us, the Indomie generation children, I say Indomie generation because some of us that were born in late 1990s, we don't have first-hand information about what was happening in 80s, 70s, and 60s. But as students of history, of course, we have read how the post-independence Nigeria was.
Yes.
And I can tell you that putting them line in line, I can tell you that we are not progressing. Instead, we are retrogressing, because based on history, in the early 1960s, life was more better. Graduates were treated as graduates. When you graduate, you have job. The people were treated with respect, and compared to what we have been today, we're in a situation whereby a lot of graduates roaming the street without anything doing. And still, you see many people struggling, writing jam, buying jam form, even when we have thousands, if not millions, of graduates jobless. Many are still struggling to secure the admission. So I can say without missing word that we're not progressing.
Okay. Now, let me come with this very angle where the president actually mentioned this morning.
Okay.
The president, in his speech, told Nigerians that we are progressing. And this is how he came. He first of all mentioned in education, Nigeria had 120 secondary schools, 2 tertiary institutions back then, when we were actually, before we had independence, or when we had independence. And today we have over 23,000 secondary schools, 274 universities, 183 polytechnics, and 236 colleges of education. And he also said there has been significant surge in healthcare, infrastructure, telecommunication, aviation, and defense. Do you agree with the speech of the president?
Well, to be fair to Mr. President, I'm not here to analyze his speech, neither speak for him or against him before Nigeria will happen to me. But as a representative of the people, I differ from his position. The reason is very simple. We don't discuss development, or we don't measure development by number of institutions we have. We don't measure development by number of hospitals we have. If we are progressing educationally enough, why are the children of us, the ruling class, schooling abroad? Let them remain in the country since we are doing well educationally. Let them school in our public schools. If we are progressing medically, why are we going for medical vacation outside? Why are we always small, even medical checkup, we go outside? Why? So you can just understand that I'm a politician, I'm talking as one. Nobody will tell you that his mother food or his mother's soup is not sweet.
Of course.
So you don't expect me today as a member of Pension to tell you I'm not performing. Of course, I will tell you I'm performing, even when I know that I have my own flaws as a human being. But I can tell you that to x-ray the speech of the president, even though I was not privileged to listen to the speech because I'm coming from somewhere, but based on what you said, we cannot measure our progress by number of institutions we have, because we can only measure our progress if we are giving the best education to our children. When we see the children of the president, children of governors, children of ministers are roaming in the public schools with the children of the poor. But today, the Minister of Education, go and check where his children. The Minister of Health, where is he undergoing his medical checkup? Him and his family. And that is how you measure what? Development. If today I'm a member of Pension North, and if I fell sick, if I'm treated in Pension General Hospital, I can come here and tell you that Pension local government were fully progressing medically.
True.
Today, I'm a member of Plateau House of Assembly. If I want to undergo my PhD, if I go to Plateau State University, Bokos, that is the state-owned institution,
yes,
I can gladly tell you that we are progressing educationally. But if I will leave Plateau State University, Bokos, maybe I find myself in Bingham, or in Veritas, or in base universities, all those private. What am I running away from? From the public university where I legislate over, where I oversight over. So those are some of the issues that we need to look inward. Yes, if we all agree as public office holders, if Mr. President wants us to believe that our education system is perfect, let's see his children, his siblings, his grandchildren, his relations schooling in Nigerian public universities. Let's see him being treated in the Aso Rock Villa Clinic or in National Hospital or any hospitals within the country. But we cannot fly out with taxpayers' money for treatment and come back and say, oh, we are developing medically. We cannot fly our children, our relations out for education in best universities outside the world and come back and say we're developing educationally. I beg to disagree with that with due respect, please.
All right. Well, I think we'll move away now from the independence speech and get to, major issues, especially those that concern the people. Let's talk about Plateau where, bandits, I mean, not really bandits, but we've seen, people being killed. Insecurity has actually become the order of the day in some parts of the, when we talk about kidnapping. Just, I think last week, your colleague was actually from the same local government, Pangshin South, was actually kidnapped around Dong, and though he's back, I would thank God for that. But let's take a close look at the issue of insecurity now. There has been this call for state policing. Meanwhile, there are some people from the federal level, National Assembly, that have come out to say that there is no need for state policing. All you just need to do is to fund properly the conventional police today, the federal police or security architecture as a standard. We have a lot of them there. One of those people is actually from your constituency, PKK, talking about Honorable Yusuf Gagdi. What's your take on that very one? Do you differ?
Well, I would have not wished to speak about him. He's my member, he represents my constituency. And with due respect to him, he was a deputy speaker in the assembly where I was a speaker.
Speaker, yes.
You see, one of the major problems we have in this country is that when God bless us, when we are privileged to occupy office, then we feel we are Alpha and Omega. And we believe that our decisions or our positions is final, or what we want must be done. We are lawmakers, myself and him were lawmakers. When it comes to sensitive issues like that, I believe that before you make known or come up with such kind of strong debate by countering states or making it loud as he did, it deserves more consultation. Consult your constituents, broader consultation, and ask, what did your constituent want? Today, I'm a member of Pension that stay in Jos.
Yes.
I don't know what my people are facing in the grassroots areas. I cannot sit down here without hearing from them and just pass a verdict on their behalf. Now, on the issue of state police that we are talking about, I'm just giving a foundation before I answer your question straightly. I'm a member. Today, what I'm going to say there is going to be my personal opinion as day one.
Okay.
Why am I saying this is my personal opinion? Because I'm yet to have a town hall meeting with my constituents to know their position regarding state police. Even though there are some few that we have discussed with them, I have consulted some on phone calls and physically, but on a personal discussion. As a representative, we'll come up with person when I have a town hall meeting with them where all the votes, all the electoral votes I represent are all present, and we decide that, okay, as a constituency, this is our position in this regard. But as a person, as an opinion leader, I am 100% in support of state police. Ask me why.
Why?
The reason is very simple. Today, we're in a country where we have police, we have military, civil defense, custom, immigration, name them. If you go to our borders, custom, immigrations are meant to checkmate our borders, what comes in and what goes out. Plateau, for instance, is in the heartbeat of Nigeria, in the center of Nigeria. My brother, have you ever asked yourself, how does this terrorists, I call them terrorists, issue of bandit or non-government militia is none of my business. For me, they are terrorists. There's no name you give to them apart from terrorists. They are people that will come and kill and go, they are terrorists. And that is the name. And they should be treated as what? Terrorists. All these names they are giving them is just being political. Now, have you ever asked yourself, how does these terrorists find their way into Plateau State? We do not share border with any country. We do not share boundary with any external forces. We're in the heartbeat of the country. Have you asked yourself, how did they manage to enter the state with these weapons that they're killing our people with and operate freely? That is one. Two, have you asked yourself, we have seen videos, I'm making reference with videos from some of the communities that has been attacked, where our people come out clearly and said there is compromise. They allege, I'm saying allege because it has not been established, but we have seen in different videos that some of the securities are what? Compromising.
But coming from the locals, it actually tells you it's firsthand.
Fine. So let's agree that they are compromising. Why are they compromising? As a person, I can only say because maybe none of their relations is within Plateau. So even if they wipe all the communities, they have nothing to lose. That is one. In another aspect, maybe because on their own part, the securities have always complained of they are not familiar with our terrain. And to be fair to them, I agree with them. They are not familiar with our terrain. They don't know the exit and the entrance. Now, for instance, there's insecurity in Plateau. You go and bring soldiers from Lagos, from Ogun, from Anambra. They have never been to Plateau. And you take them to one village in Bokos, for instance. They don't know which road you would link to that village, and from that village, which village would you link to? You want them to protect you. When they hear a gunshot, what do you expect them to do? One of the major function of security is he must first protect himself before protecting you. So you take someone to where he is not familiar with. What do you expect him to do? He definitely run for his life because he definitely protect himself before protecting the people you assign him to protect. That is why we are calling for state policing, where the indigenous will be trained and employed, paid, safeguard and protect their heritage, their own ancestral what? Home. Issue of compromising. I don't think any Plateau son will collect money to fall his arms to watch his people being killed.
Well,
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so.
We're talking about compromise. That may not really happen, but there's an alleged fear. And that alleged fear is the fact that, as things get to unfold,
Yes.
you get to see governors now start using this state police, for political reasons. Now, a very close example to that is the INEC, for example, the State Independent Electoral Commission. Clear examples were given. when you take a look at the local government elections being handled by, the CX around the state, you ask yourself, has there been any sitting governor that has not won all seats for his political party in the look? Now, those are the same fears alleged to state
You see,
police.
my brother, that's where we're getting it. Don't allow we politicians to mislead you into some of these realities.
Okay.
If state governors control a state electoral body, who control INEC?
The federal.
Is the federal not the politician? Talk.
No, but the point here is we've seen
If
other political
governors
parties
will use state
win
police for
governorship
their
seats.
own political interests, then I feel accept, is the president using police, soldiers, and others for his own political interests? That is the question. It's vice versa. So what are we talking about? You see, you cannot solve problem without knowing the root cause of it. You cannot go and say black in Abuja and come to Jos and say white. To elaborate more on my senior colleague, my reps member, he was in reps since 2019.
Of course.
In 2021, Governor Lala of APC advocate for state police. Where was he then? Where was his voice? It's now that he realized that state police is a no-go area because Mutfang is the governor. Why didn't he counter Lalong in 2021 when Lalong advocated as a chairman of Northern Governors Forum? He advocated for state policing. He was a rep member then. He was still chairman House Committee on Navy. Why didn't he oppose Lalong?
So
you should realize that we politicians, you must be careful with us. Don't listen to what we say. Don't just concentrate on what we say, but look at it rationally. Are we protecting our interests? Are we speaking for the interests of the masses? The same rep member we're talking about, my senior colleague, with due respect to him, he was elected as a member in Plateau House of Assembly in 2015. God bless him, just like God blessed me to be speaker. God bless him, he was a deputy speaker from 2015 2017 before he was removed. What happened? He crossed carpet and joined the governor of the state under APC, that's Governor Lalong, and placed his loyalty and was singing praises. That earned him the ticket for reps in 2019. He went to reps. Lalong advocated for state police. He didn't talk. Lalong was a governor. Funds were coming in. You cannot tell me every dispensation comes with its own peculiarities. The funds that were coming to this state as of 2015 under Lalong, you cannot compare with the one that was coming from 2007 under Jam. Because things changes. Things changes. Why didn't he talk? Why didn't he challenge the cumulative funds that were coming to Plateau? Only now. So what am I saying? It's all politics. I'm not speaking for the governor of Plateau because I'm not the Commissioner of Information. Neither am I from PDP.
DOPA, yeah.
Do you understand? But as a member of the state parliament, I'm speaking because our senior colleagues in the National Assembly, we have watched them tell with that number, singing, on your mandate we shall stand, Bola, on your mandate, Bola, on your mandate, Bola, without minding whether it's for the interest of the masses or it's for the, only them know which mandate are they standing on. Then after singing, on your mandate we stand, Bola, in Abuja, you come to Jos to instigate we, the state lawmakers, against our own mandate that we're supposed to stand with two for our own interests. Who is fooling who? I cannot be caught to that because that fund that is sent to Plateau State, that is where my own salary is. That is where my own share of the cake is. And you want me to follow you, to support you, to fight my own source of food while you have cash your own in Abuja. My brother, we should play this politics with some fear of God. Politics will come and go, but humanity remains. So we cannot just be playing double standard for personal interest. Just like if I'm in National Assembly today, I cannot oppose President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a reason based not to us as parliament. That's applicable if my rep member to be in the state assembly now.
Irrespective of what the people want.
He cannot. You see, there's way Nigerians operate. One of the major problems we lawmakers have is that we are toothless bulldogs without apology. We are toothless bulldogs because they independent of legislation, so they too much power vested to the executive. Have already made us toothless bulldog.
It only means you're rubber stamped by the executive then.
If
Is that so?
If there's better name for that, I will accept. I'm a member.
But why is that so?
That's how the system works.
Because the people are there. You have to speak for the
You
people.
see, that's how the system
And not
works.
for the executive.
The fact remains that the executive are empowered by constitution to what? To implementation of policies. That is why in Plateau, the developmentally is about the agendas, programs of Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfang. So as lawmakers, ours is to what? To oversight and to advise so that we will achieve those programs. People of Plateau voted him based on his blueprint. They believe in his blueprint, they believe in his manifesto, and they voted him. And I cannot be the one to come and twat that blueprint that he convinced people with, and they voted him. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, why did I say we are toothless bulldog? We are lawmakers. There are bills and motions. Ask my reps member and other National Assembly members. There are bills that they sponsored and passed that the executive will not ascend into law. That they are there till today.
But why is
Well,
that
while
so?
that one is hanging there, the same executive will push the executive bill for you. He will rush it and pass it, and they will ascend it that day.
But why is that so?
I tell you earlier, the constitution have given the executive too much
Power.
power. That's what we can do. When you said you want to override, yes, you have the power to override. When you override, where will you get the fund to execute? Today, if I said, okay, I sponsor a bill that I want Plateau State College of Education to be established in my constituency, the bill is being passed. It's been voted in governor. Governor refused to sign, to assent, for instance. Then we said, okay, we are lawmakers, we can override him. Go ahead and override. When you finish, where we get the fund, go and establish the institution. So now you agree where I say we are toothless what? Bulldogs.
But the law is the law until it is assented. So it surely means you have to just, bow to the pressure that comes from the executive.
No, sometimes, apart from being, that is why issue of overriding come, apart from being assented by the executive, there is a clause where if the executive refuses as parliament, we can override the decision of the executive. But that overriding, it's just been misleading. Because after overriding, what next? Where will you get the funding? Do you receive tax? Do you receive allocation? Do you receive VAT? Nothing. So that is why, in order not to have those kind of unnecessary clashes, it's better we synergize with the executive. Agreed. That's why, even when I was a speaker, I advised my members, if you want to sponsor any bill, they want anything establishment or distinct to your constituency, go and lobby with the executive and reason together. Are they thinking in that line?
That's in direction.
Is it part of their agenda? Is it part of their program? So that let's not do a fruitless job while stressing ourselves, going through public hearing, debating, arguing, and after that, then the bill become useless. But if you consult with the executive, okay, Your Excellency, please, I'm represent this constituency, and this is what we're lacking. I want to sponsor a bill in this regard. Please, can you help us? Will you see the light of the day? It's left for the executive to tell you, okay, in our blueprint, this is where our concentration is. This is what we want. And that will guide you to know from the response, whether your bill is going to see the light of the day or not. There are members, there are senators, there are representatives of the House of Assembly members that have sponsored many bills without one they assented. While there are some who sponsored just one.
And it went through.
And it went through. It's been assented and you see the light of the day. So it's all about the priority of the executive. That's why I'm telling you that as lawmakers, we have a limit to what we do.
So there's a need for the amendment of the constitution, if I'm not wrong.
Very well. I have always said it that the too much power vested to executive need to be checkmate. That even in the executive, the power differs. The power vested to the presidency. You are in this country where our constitution have been interpreted differently, where you see senior lawyers are arguing, debating in the case of state of emergency. In 2003 or 2004, when Obasanjo declared state of emergency in Plateau and Ikiti, he removed Governor Joshua Dare and Governor Fayeshe in Ikiti. In 2013, when Goodluck declared state of emergency in 3 states in Northeast, Borno, Yobe, and I think Adamawa, what did he do? He only reinforced securities in those
Of
states.
course.
None of the governors were what?
Removed.
According to him, the constitution says if there is state of emergency, then you beef up securities to curtail the challenges. It didn't give you power to remove a democratically elected governor. But recently it happened again
In Rivers State.
where the president sit in his office, make a speech. After making a speech, he said, I hereby, it was a pronouncement.
Of course.
After relying on the same section of constitution, he make a pronouncement that I hereby,
Not according to the
yes,
constitution.
I hereby suspend the governor of Rivers State. And it what? It stands.
Stood, yeah.
So now, put those scenarios side by side. What will you see? You understand that our constitution has been interpreted in different ways, in different forms. So people interpret constitution how it suit their interests. That's all. When Goodluck declared state of emergency in 2013, the same part of people in this present government were the one challenging him. When Goodluck make attempt to remove subsidy in 2012, the same part of this present administration were the one that organized Occupy Nigeria protests, if you have not forgotten.
Not at all.
Today, the subsidy has been removed. In fact, there was no consultation. At the Eagle Square during swearing in, subsidy was declared removed. So that's why I was telling you that. Don't allow yourself to be misled by we politicians, not even me as they were, not even anybody, because we always, most often, it's only take the grace of God for us to speak for the interests of the masses. We always want to protect our interests. That's the reality that I want Nigerians, our listeners, to understand. But you should try and not the leaders you elect.
All right. Let's go to a post you made on social media just on Sunday. You know, it's captured the attention of a lot of people on the plateau, and I think beyond the plateau again. You know, that post actually carries so much weight. You actually said it's a silent question, which I want you to elaborate
not
on
just
more.
silent, I said it's a straight virgin question.
True.
A question that has not been discussed. Nobody have asked it
Of
before,
course.
so I take it as a straight virgin
Question.
Yes.
All right. Now let's look at one of the points you made first. And that's the increase in allocation to the governors.
Yes.
You know, every governor have more allocations now to actually beef up security than it used to be before now. Even though we've seen analysts come out to counter that and say, what was the rate of, dollar back then? What was the inflation rate back then compared to what it is now? It's almost like the same thing like it used to be, just that the numbers and figures are quite different. Now, you also mentioned that from 250 million naira a year, I think at the House of Reps or so, or the National Assembly, it went up to over 1 billion. Okay,
I didn't.
you didn't.
I didn't.
Okay,
mention
but I saw something
figures.
as such.
I only mentioned. I didn't mention figures.
Okay, you didn't mention
my
figures.
question was very straight.
Okay, please.
I
rephrase
asked my
it.
senior colleague
Yes.
that as my own elder brother, as my own senior colleague in parliament, as lawmakers,
Yes.
in as much as he's challenging the state governors of the increase
In
of the
allocation.
subvention, can he please tell us the increase of allocation of National Assembly, their budget and their constituency projects increase? I'm a lawmaker. I can tell you that the subsidy removal affect all of us directly. All of us political office holders. Maybe councillors, I would say they have not benefited because their salaries have not changed. But from Senate reps, House members, everybody, everything has what? Change. It may not change up to the expectation, but there's increase. That's the reality that we must what agreed. Now, call any security personnel. I don't want to speak for them, but call any of them and ask how much were they buying one ammunition bullet? How did they call it? How much did they buy one
Bullet.
then? And how much did they buy one now? Call farmers. How much were they buying a bag of fertilizer then? How much are they buying now? What am I saying? If then a state government can donate 10 trailers of fertilizer, and if he donate 10 trailers of fertilizer now, what is the cost difference? Put them side by side and answer the question. Ask yourself, because you eat rice, how much were you buying bag of rice then? How much are you buying now? You don't stay in this studio, I know. you transport yourself to be here.
True.
Answer the question yourself. How much were you transporting yourself to here? And how much are you transporting yourself to here now? So when you put all those analysis side by side, you understand that things of before 2023 are not the same with things that are now present in 2025. Just the same way, things that were before 2015, before Muhammad Buhari took over,
Yes.
is not the same with what was there before 2015. That's why I told you earlier that things change day by what day. Now, how much was the minimum wage on the plateau? What was the wage bill of Plateau State before Mutfang took over? And what is the wage bill now? What was the minimum wage of Plateau State before Mutfang took over? And what is the minimum wage now? Those are some of the sad realities that we must ask. As House members, ask our colleagues who served from 2019 to 2023, how much was their take home? And ask us now, how much is our take home? God bless my reps member. He was there from 2019 to 2023 and he's there from 2023. Ask him from 2019 to 2023, how much was his take home and how much was his constituency intervention? And ask him from 2020, after subsidy removal, how much is his constituency intervention, how much is his take home? That was the question I asked. But instead of, I didn't insult my colleague.
No, at all. You did not. You did not.
Disrespect him.
Yes.
I called him the respect because he was in house in 2015. By God, that time I was not even at the university. I got a version in 2016. So I respect him as my own member, as my own elder brother. And it was a harmless, virgin question. But instead to deal with the question I asked, some people who don't even know how the workings and operation of legislature and the offices are because of blind party loyalty, fanaticism, they resort to insult, personality attack. And I wait for my generation. They allowed us to be manipulating them for own personal interests. And I've said it without apology to anybody. All of us, from president down to councillor, take it or leave it. The people have made us who we are. There's nothing we offer to our people and we think we're doing them a favor. If anybody thinks he's doing a favor to his constituent, let him resign and go back with his normal life. If he feels that the office is occupying is not doing him good than what he is doing to the people, let him resign. By God's grace, I think I'm one of the most honorable person if it is in that regard. I taste power. I enjoy power as a speaker of this state for 1 year, 8 months. And I willingly resign. That is a record that you cannot take away from me. I resign willingly. I embraced the new speaker and I took him to the governor and we are working peacefully. That is the record. Some of them hold tight, fight here and there, suspending their colleagues until they overpower them like a coup.
But why did you resign?
Because of the interest of Plateau. I have said without apology, I'm an accidental speaker. But I live as one of the best speakers. Why did I say that I was an accidental speaker? There are 3 major factors that ordinarily I wasn't supposed to be a speaker in the first place. First, I'm a first timer in that assembly.
True.
And I have senior colleagues that have been there for more than 10 years. With due respect to them, I was not supposed to preside over them. Because in Parliament, we have respect to senior colleagues.
But you're the minority leader then?
Minority whip.
Minority whip, yes.
Secondly, myself and the governor will come from the same senatorial district. And based on the gentleman understanding of Plateau, it's expected number 1, 2, 3 should come from the 3 senatorial zones.
Okay.
And thirdly, I'm a lone member. Lone member in the sense I'm the only one in my party presiding over 23 members, including senior colleagues, members from majority party, and I am their younger brother.
Did your conscience judge you at that point?
Of course, but at that time, Plateau needs me to stabilize the polity based on what was happening.
Was it Plateau that asked you to resign, or it was your conscience that asked you to
resign?
No,
there are 2 factors.
Okay.
1, my conscience.
Okay.
Where did my conscience come in? I knew what brought me. I know how I came in.
Okay.
Was to stabilize the polity. And I felt since the polity has been stabilized, it's time to go out. That's 1. 2, you cannot deny the fact that my own brothers from the southern zone were feeling being cheated. Because, of course, they believe that the speakership supposed to go to them. And me sitting in, I'm sitting on their rightful position,
the
or
rightful
birthright.
position, yes.
Anyhow, they are right. And those two factors. But the first one is my conscience. Because, yes, they have their own arguments. But in the house, our house rules and our laws is clear. Anybody is qualified to be a speaker. Anybody who have contrary opinion, come and challenge me. The law is very clear. Anybody that is duly elected,
of course,
is qualified to be a speaker.
Because the same.
But because of humanity that is in me,
you,
and because of the respect, because of my belief in one united plateau, I have friends in the southern zone. And as I said, I came to assembly when I met senior colleagues who have been there before me. Some were there, even when I was yet to got admission into university for my first degree. Today, I'm a master's degree holder.
Of course, congratulations on that.
By God's grace, I felt it's very important to give peace a chance. Because I feel my personal growth and my personal political interests do not supersede the unity and progress and prosperity of Plateau. Perhaps I have to give a way.
Well, that's actually a good thought. But before we open the phone lines,
to add to it, you know that in the 1 year, 8 months, there was no attempt of impeachment.
no threats at all was actually pushed to you. And
There
there was no pressure from the executive.
There was no allegations of me denying any member his entitlements, being his salary, his allowance, or anything. There's no any allegation of me suspending any member. Check Benue, check Zafara, check other states, where all of them are in the same party.
Of course.
23 members
Suspended.
has been suspended from the same party. Myself and my colleagues, my brothers, despite our party differences, despite our zonal differences, despite our tribal differences, I tell you I'm their younger brother. I'm in my early 30s. There's no member in this house that is less than 40 years. So you see the age
gap.
I'm their far, far, far back younger brother. But we have embraced each other as a family. We have that mutual respect to each other as honorable colleagues. And we treated each other as one. We may disagree on certain issues, of course, but definitely not trespassing on someone's responsibility or his entitlements or anything. And I left with my head tall. I left with my dignity. I left with my respect.
But if you have the chance to become the speaker again, will you be the speaker?
Presently?
Yes. Or probably the next coming assembly.
What? No.
Why won't you be the speaker? Because then you're already two-time back.
You see, if
I mean.
I'm to come back to the assembly, which I will not, because I'm hoping and I want to represent my constituency in National Assembly, of course, if God wished. But even it happens that I'm to come back to the said assembly, unless situations happen like it happened, which I'm not praying for it. You remember I said I was an accidental speaker.
Of course, so you said.
I happen to be speaker because of the situation and circumstances that happen. We are not praying for such to happen in 2027. So even if I'm to find myself in the assembly again, remember when we came in 2023, I was one of the leading factors to my predecessor.
True.
Moses Thomas Sule.
Thomas Sule.
Why? Because I respect the Leiden principles. Even if to say I was having interest to be speaker, how? From YPP, I'm alone. Who will vote me?
Is it by political party or by the quality
It's
of the
not by a
person coming up?
political party, but you cannot take party out of Nigerian politics. Because most often, lawmakers will take directly from our parties. That's why even assigning principal officers, you don't assign principal officers, it's the party that right.
But you
the
just
speaker.
said, but you just said something now. You don't really have the interest to go back to the House of Assembly. You want to actually go to the National Assembly.
Yes.
Come 2027.
Yes.
But of course, looking at this now, you have a heavyweight who have said he's going back for a third term. How possible is that?
You see, I don't want to discuss about me and my senior colleague.
But of course, you have to, because
But
you have said he's going for a third
I
term.
have to. What I will say in that regard is that before he go to National Assembly, there was someone there, isn't it?
True.
He must definitely before someone go. He went to National Assembly in 2019 when my own elder brother, Dr. Timothy Ngulu, was seeking to return. In fact, then Ngulu was one of the performing members then. Go and see the road project he initiated in the constituency. Him, as a former deputy speaker, who was removed, not resigned, he was removed by his own colleague. They moved a motion and second for his removal.
But why do you think
He go ahead and contest and won against a sitting member? What make him think that as a former speaker who resigned with my respect, with my dignity, with my performance in my constituency, what make you think I cannot contest against him and win him?
But you're contesting from YPP.
What make you think that he's alpha and omega, that no one can challenge him?
Will you remain in YPP if you are contesting the election, or you will defect?
Time shall tell. He came to us in APC, in PDP. He ended up contesting his reps in 2019 in APC.
APC was the majority.
Well, non-PDP is the majority in the state. So who tell you whether I will not contest in PDP or not? So if he left PDP in 2017, joined APC because they were the one in government to contest to actualize his dream, who tell you that I might not likely do same to follow the governor and his party so that I will actualize my dream too? But all those things, God alone will decide. Time shall tell. What I'm saying is that nobody owns tomorrow.
That's true.
I'm one believer that believes in God's time and God's destiny. Let's pray for long life. Let's pray for health. When we reach there, God will decide. And I've said it time with that number. If God have destined that my colleague, my senior colleague, will go back for third term, I don't have power to challenge God's will.
Okay.
I'll pray for him. If we contest and he defeat me, I'll support him. It's not about me. It's about the constituency. But I pray that if God have destined me, he have a large heart to accept the defeat, because that defeat is sacrosanct.
Okay. Now let's take a few calls, then we get back to the studio. We've been on air, with the former Speaker of the House of Assembly, and already still a member there, and of course, one of the principal officers, the minority part of it. Well, the numbers to call 0905 566 6699 081 2187 7777. Also, leave comments with us on our Facebook page. We'll surely take our time, to take them one after the other. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. You think that was a miss? Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost the both call. You can call back. The numbers are open for us to have the conversation. The conversation is actually centered on the issue of state policing. And of course, we actually moved into plateau politics as it stands. Hello, good morning. I think we're having issues with the call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Richard.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, it's Israel. I'm calling you from Saka.
All right, Israel, you have the floor. Talk to us, please.
Yes, you see, from what the former speaker just said, it is very clear that politics, it's interest first. And from he said openly that you can go to any party for actualize his interest. Let me tell you something, Mr. Richard. The current leadership is doing its best, because if you compare what happens in the previous regime, you discover that inflation itself has made everything balanced. Somebody said recently that when he started working, his salary could buy him 4 bags of rice. But presently, he has worked for almost 20 years, and his salary can hardly get him 4 bags of rice. Will you call that progress? We are not progressing. That is just the truth. We are not making, if we are making progress, we are not making appreciable progress. In comparison to what the opportunities, the potentials we have in this nation, we are still backward. We are not making progress. The earlier we tell ourselves the truth, the better for us. So the way things are presently, if we do not align our system to lead to development, to lead to making life easy for us, it will not work. These politicians, most times, their interest is...
all right, Israel, just try to cut your point. Make your point straight. Let's allow us to talk to us.
The truth is, we have not made progress. That's
all right.
What I'm saying.
Okay.
If we want to make progress, let's face reality.
Thank you so much, Israel. Thank you. All right, let's have this one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Tell us your name and your location.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Sadiq Umar. I'm calling from TCNT Junction.
All right, Sadiq Umar, please talk to us.
Yeah, I want to commend the former speaker. He has spoken very, very well. and he has spoken the mind of good representative of a platooners. You see, there is a lot of things that have been happening in Nigeria and in Plateau at large. Let me start by the issue of independence. You see, it's very, very understandable that even at the national level, they are celebrating it on Loki because there is nothing of celebration. Because when we look at, just look at this regime, there's a lot of promise that have been promised since the removal of fuel subsidy in this regime. But how far have they fulfilled the promise? So it is not something that the Nigerians will talk about. So we are calling on them to do the needful. And coming back to Plateau State, I think it is high time that the Platoonians have to join hands to bring development to the state. See how the governor, how he's bringing his effort to make sure that there is development and everybody is seeing his effort. So kudos to the governor and even the speaker. When he was in his seat, he have supported the governor in most of the ways. And we are calling on even the present speaker to support the governor to make sure that the dividend of democracy have been experienced in Plateau State. Because Plateau, Governor Khaled Mufa is doing well. And we commend the House of Assembly also because they are giving him the maximum understandable. Because they ask what people are not even expected. Because most of the people are not expected that the opposition will cooperate with the governor. But because of the good deed of the governor, that's why he get the achievement. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that one there. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, my name is Maxwell from City Launch Hotel in Jos.
All right, Maxwell, please. Let's have you talk to us.
Yes, I just want to challenge the speaker.
Okay. The former speaker, not the present speaker. The former speaker.
Yes, the former speaker, please. Sorry. That in the history of PKK, nobody has ever gone there twice. But the man presently in the National Assembly has defied the odds, and he has been there twice, looking for the third cup. Do you think that if you too, you find yourself there, can you define that odds? Again, the issue of religion is another issue, it's another barrier. But the man has defined that one, and he has gone there. He has been accepted across the PKK. Do you think that you have the capacity to shift a mountain? Because the man has done well. And do you think if you go there, you can also do the same thing? Even though you have made a statement that if God destined him, you will go. If God did not destine him, you will not go. Yes, that is part of politics. You can go twice or once. When God destines you, you can be there. When God did not destine you, you cannot be there.
Right.
But my question is that, can you shift a mountain? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that one. And this will be the last. Hello, good morning. I think we lost that call there. Just a few comments, then we get back to the studio to wrap up conversation here. Let's begin with Isha Kuzumji, who said, Happy Independence Day, Richard. I love and salute the submission of the vibrant young legislator, our leader and team captain of the Positive Impact movement. State police is the way to go. Any politician standing against state police is an enemy of the people. We are confident of sending our Right Honorable Chief Dewan to the National Assembly. He has proven, his competence and, at the same time, capacity since assuming office. Ambassador Lucas Dakup is saying, with respect to Right Honorable Gabriel Dewan, accountability is a duty of all leaders. For all leaders, federal constituency projects are traceable in the national budget, just as citizens also expect transparency from the state. Legislators make laws and provide oversight, while the governor carries the executive mandate to deliver roads, schools, healthcare, and security. As we mark 65 years of independence, Plateau needs results, not blame. I think I'll take one more. Then from there, we come to the issue of your constituency now. Honorable Dewan raised more very important points that many have been silent about. Constituency allowances should reflect real development in our communities, not just rhetoric. Also, his call for state police is very crucial given the rising insecurity across the country. As Nigeria clocks 65, we must hold all leaders accountable, both at the federal and state levels, if we truly want development and progress. We have just a few minutes left. Let's talk about constituency, allowances and projects. Well, we know lawmakers are there to make laws and not to actually go on with projects. But today, there are constituency allowances, all over.
Yes.
But at the same time, can we say, you've actually seen the reflection of those constituency projects in your own constituency?
Well,
be it from your angle or from the angle of any other politician coming from your side.
For myself,
Yes.
I shouldn't speak about myself by myself. Maybe
But of course, you
make
have the
research.
chance. No, probably you have the chance to
I
actually
will
make it.
definitely answer you, but
Yes.
I only want to put a foundation to your question. Let it not be that I come to a program to sing my own
of course, praises.
You understand? As a journalist or as media houses, maybe you embark on investigative journalism in each of the 24 constituencies. I know what we, the honorable members, are doing. Today, I'm 2 years in the house, 2 years with some months. I have been paid 2024 constituency allowance. We're expecting 2025. 2026 have not come, and 2027. I'm entitled to 4 years constituency allowances or projects. Only 2024 has been paid. I announced it when it was paid. Then I held swear as a speaker. Today I sit before you and tell you without missing word that I have built 10 schools in my constituency. I will name them. I built school in Glay Village. I built school in Tazuk Village. I built school in Jesus Okos examination hall. I built school in Kuala Village. I built school in Mantom Village. I built school in Dang Village. I built school in Fifen Village. I built school in Dene Village. I built school in Chugwang Village. I built school in Dikal Village. Those are schools I built from scratch
To finish.
completion. Even though some are at the verge of completion, some have not been completed, but many has been completed. 2 classrooms with an office. That is on the education sector. That is building. In completion, I've completed 6 classrooms in Wusali Ward. I have roofs classroom in Balangshipang in Wuchenbe Ward. I have roof classroom in Rock in Kangshi Ward. And I can go on. That is on education.
Let's
I
try
have
to
given
wrap up, Honorable.
scholarships
Yes.
to 97 science students in universities, in various universities, PLASU, ATB Ubochi, UJ, and so on. Science based. And each of them, I give them 100,000 naira each, because when I initiated the scholarship, the school fees were not up to 100,000.
Of course.
So I was giving 100,000 with an expectation that they will pay the tuition fee and they get small change
To keep for themselves.
Along the line, like UJ, the school fees double. So even the 100,000
Wasn't enough.
cannot even pay the tuition fee. But it was a standard I have set, so I couldn't have amended again. So we're maintaining at that level,
All right.
and we're paying that. I am paying school fees. Those in secondary school, they're over 400,000. 400. I am a member that in all my electoral wards,
Yes.
I have taken upon myself that every year I will be paying WAEC
All right.
to at least 50 students in each of the wards.
Okay.
And I've done that. JAM.
Yes.
I've done it. Clinics I've built. Town halls. In fact, I did one of the biggest town hall in Nyeleng ward in Pangshin.
All right.
Local government. In Duk. Transformers I fixed. Churches I roof. Pastorium I built. Cars I empower youth with Sharon vehicles. Motorcycles. Prison fairs I built. I sponsor footballers to oversee.
Wow.
I organize football competition. I have done a lot. But I thank the people of Pangshin North. They make it possible by electing me. And I thank my colleagues for entrusting me to be a speaker. And I use the office, make my connections with NGOs, make my connection with friends outside,
All right.
and I get support.
Well, I think we'll have to wrap up now. Thank you so much for your time this morning, Honorable Dewan Gabriel Kudegbenia. It has been a swell conversation, with you, and of course, we hope to have more of this. And you've actually stated the obvious, and of course, for you, you've actually mentioned some of the things you've done. We'll surely go in to do more research on that one.
Very well.
Once again, happy Independence celebration.
Thank you so much. Pray that Nigeria will be better.
All right.
For all of us.
Yeah, just to let you know that the program does not end here. We'll go on a break or return. By 10 o'clock, we continue with an extended version. It's an Independence Day edition of Let's Talk. So please stay tuned. We're back for you. My name is Richard Badung. I'll be back in a jiffy.
High energy. Positively high.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
Good vibes. No goodbyes. Only good rhymes.
Here we go.
You're listening to
JFM 101.9.
We stand as a people with one song and one voice.
The Executive Chairman, Riyam Local Government Council, Honorable Bature Sati Shua, on behalf of the management, legislative arm, traditional council, staff, and the entire peaceful people of Riyam Local Government area, heartily felicitate the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Ahmed Bola Tinubu, Executive Governor of Plateau State, and the captain of the time is now philosophy, His Excellency Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang, the Deputy Governor, Our Excellency Ngo Josephine Pio, Speaker, Plateau State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Daniel Nanlong, members of the National and State Assemblies, Judiciary, and all Nigerians on this auspicious celebration of our nation's 65th independence anniversary. As we commemorate our beloved country's